How are you today? Fine. Great. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today, inshallah, we are going to complete our talk about demand determinants, and we will start with our talk about the supply as well. If we have enough time, we will go to the market equilibrium. In the last class, we studied the main determinants of demand, like the consumer's income, the number of population, what else? The price of other related goods. What else? Expectation about the future prices and the future income. I think that we still have the last determinant of demand, which is tastes and the preferences. So the last determinant of demand is tastes and the preferences. So the last determinant of demand is tastes and the preferences. This means له التفضيلات والأذواق للconsumers. If the consumers' taste and the preferences go toward one type of the products, like new types of trousers, new types of mobiles, you know. So, in this case, the demand for this product or service will go up. Okay? So, if the consumer's taste and preferences go toward one type of products, so if the consumer's tastes and the preferences go toward new types of trousers, or sometimes about fashion maybe. So here, new types of mobiles. This leads to increasing the desire or the willingness to buy. Here we have, or in this case, we're talking about the willingness to buy. This means the demand for this type of the product will go up. Okay? So, here we're talking about the demand for this product go up. So, the demand for this type of product or the new type of mobiles will shift right. Okay? So here we have rightward shifting in the demand curve. Okay? So the demand curve shifts right. And vice versa. Going against this product. This means the willingness or the desire for the consumer طبعا وين ماله بده يصير في عندنا declining له, and then the demand for this product goes down and demand curve shifts left. Okay? Is there a problem so far? Okay. Let's go to something else, or the second side of the market. Supply. Yes. Let's go to supply. Right. So let's go to the second side of the market, which is supply. As we mentioned before, that in the market we have two sides, the producers and the consumers, the sellers and buyers, the persons who demand and the persons who sell the products. The second side is called supply. طلاب ده. Supply. Supply is the willingness to produce or to sell something and the ability to produce. Please keep your mobile silent. Supply is the willingness to produce, to sell or to produce, plus the ability to produce or sell. These are the main conditions for the effective supply. Okay? Now, let's have the following example. Let's assume that we are talking about the demand and, the prices and the quantity supplied of gasoline or fuel. Prices. Price here, liter of fuel. Your point. And we are the quantity supplied of fuel by liter. Here by shekel. Point A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, F. The price per liter of fuel was, let us assume it was 2 shekels, 4 shekels, 6, 8, 10, 12, and the quantity produced or the quantity sold for this product was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. These are assumptions here. This is, what do you see here in this schedule? What do you see in this table? As the price goes up or increases, what do you see? Exactly. So the quantity supplied goes up as well because increasing the prices leads to increasing the profits. This will encourage the producers to produce more. This means the willingness to produce goes up and the ability to produce goes up as well. So as the profits, yes. Okay, as the profits goes up or go up, the willingness to produce, to sell or to produce goes up, plus the ability, you have more money to produce, so the ability to sell or to produce goes up as well. Here we are talking about supply. So supply goes up as well. All right. Now, before going to this point, I will derive, or let's derive the relationship between, or discuss the relationship between the prices and the quantity supplied using graph. Here we have prices and the quantity supplied. Prices 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, that's it. And the quantity supplied 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. That's it. The first point, point A, represents or illustrates, or when the price was 2 and 5 here, 4 and 10. That's it here. Point A, B, C, D, E, F. If we connect these points together here, we'll reach to the supply curve. So, supply curve is a graph, is a line, is a curve, shows what? The positive relationship between the prices and the quantity supplied. As the price goes up, the quantity supplied goes up as well. So, as the price goes up, the quantity supplied goes up as well. Here we have positive, positive. The final result will be positive. Positive times positive, positive. As the price goes down, the quantity supplied goes down as well. Negative times negative, positive. So, positive. Negative times negative, positive. Okay? Now, let's go to the factors affect supply. The factors affect supply, which are the supply determinants. Supply determinants. So, let's go to the supply determinants or the factors affect supply. Who can give us the first factor affect supply? Yes. Technology changes. Yes, this is number one. So, let's go to the supply determinants. Supply determinants or the factors affect supply. Number one, as your classmate said that the first factor is technology changes. What will happen to the business or to the factories or the producers or the ability to supply when we have a new technology, modern technology? The capacity or the ability to produce will increase. So, as we have a new technology, having a new technology means that the ability to produce will increase. And the willingness to produce as well will go up as well. So, and the willingness to produce go up. So, what will happen to this is supply. So, supply goes up. Shifts right. So, supply curve here. This is the, let us assume that this is the original supply curve, P, Q, S, and this is the original supply curve, S1. This is an assumption here. This is the original, the initial supply curve. As we mentioned, as we have a technology changes, we have a new technology, modern technology, the ability and the willingness to produce go up and supply increases. and supply curve shifts right. And then here, supply, so supply curve shifts right. Where's the right? Here's the origin. The right is here. All right? So we have rightward shifting and supply curve parallel to the previous one. This is S2. Here we are not talking down or up. Here we are talking right or left. Okay? تمام. Less technology leads to lower supply and supply curve shifts left. So if we have less technology, supply declines and supply curve shifts left. So we will find that the supply curve shifts left. هيك هو up صح؟ هو left. So we will move to S3. All right? Okay. What is the second factor affect supply? Yes.
Price of factors of reduction. When the price of factors of reduction rises, the ability to produce that rising, then the quantity supply is rising.
As the cost production here, you're talking about the price of the factors of production goes up. What will happen to the ability here? No. Okay. What will happen to your ability to produce, your capability? Goes down. So, thank you. The second determinant of supply is the cost of inputs. Number 2 here is the price of inputs or the price of factors production. The price, number 2, the price of inputs. The price of inputs. Or sometimes called the cost of factors production. Like, what are the factors of production? Labor, machine, raw material, land, okay? What will happen if the cost of a production you pay as a producer go up? Like you have to pay more salaries, more wages for the workers. What will happen if the price of raw material go up? What will happen to the price of land goes up? The cost of a production go up. All right? And so here, if the cost of a production اللي هم عبارة عن شو هذولا؟ labor, machines, machinery, like raw material, والland, والentrepreneurship بدخلوها ضمن الهاي sometimes. So and some other, some other the factors production, well, capital, okay. If the cost of these factors of production go up, like هلا هذا شو بكلف؟ الليبر شو بتدفع له أنت؟ Wages and salaries. If the wage paid for the workers go up, or طبعا ceteris paribus means مع بقاء العوامل الأخرى على حالها. والماشينري اللي أنت بتجيبها for production process goes up. Or the price or the cost of raw material اللي هي الانبوتس في البرودكشن بروسيس go up. واللاند واحد بده يعمل تاور، بده يعمل بيلدينج، بده يعمل شيء على اللاند، هذا بيشتري اللاند طلع سعرها. هذا كله اسمه cost of production. تمام؟ الكابيتال واحد بده ياخذ قرض على الانترست ريت طلع يدفع فوائد اعلى. هلا هذا هيك كله اسمه increasing in the factors production or the cost of inputs. What will happen here?
The profit is down and the supply is down.
The ability, we have a loss or we have, the profits goes down. The profits go down. So this means that this will affect the profits to go down. And then here, the profits go down. What will happen to the ability to produce and the willingness to produce? Decline. So here, the ability to produce and the willingness to produce بطل عنده desire انه ينتج. اذا في البروفيتس goes down وفي عنده loss، اذا هذا وين راح يوديني؟ Supply decline. So we have a declining in supply and supply curve shifts left. إذا supply curve shifts left. So if we have the following supply curve, PQS, S1, supply curve shifts left. Okay? S2. And vice versa. As the cost of production goes down, the price of inputs, the price of raw material, the cost of wages, the cost of machinery, lands, raw material, كله goes down. أو يعني one of these or two of these inputs, the cost of these inputs, so what will happen? The profits goes up and the supply shifts right. Okay? مين مش فاهمة؟ مين عنده مشكلة؟ فاهمين؟ 100%. طيب, what else? What is the third factor affect someone else? Yes. Number of producers. Exactly. So, the third factor affect supply is number of sellers or number of producers. In demand, we said that one of the main factors affect demand is the number of consumers. Here we're talking about the number of producers or the number of sellers. So, as the number of producers or the number of sellers increases, we are talking about the number of sellers or producers. Exactly. So, as the number of sellers increases, this leads to an increasing in supply. Shifts, supply curve shifts right. Then SC shifts right. And vice versa. Declining in the number of sellers leads to a decreasing in supply, decreasing in supply curve shifts left. Okay?
Yeah.
Why if the number of seller supply will be up?
Because the quantity supplied goes up. As the number of producers, we have so many sellers in the market. What will happen to the quantity supplied? At the same prices here. Let us assume that we have the original. This is the original here. This is the price and the quantity supplied, and this is the original supply curve as well. Okay? And let us assume that the price per unit was 5 shekels per liter of, or per quantity per kilogram of a chicken was 5, and the quantity sold in the market was 10 or 20 or 200 kilogram. And this is NIS. Okay? If the number of sellers increases, what will happen to the quantity sold in the market, the quantity produced in the market, along the same prices? Let us assume that the price was 5 and remains 5. Here, according to our assumption, that the price per kilogram of chicken was 5. Okay? At this price, if we have additional sellers, more sellers in the market, the quantity purchased, the quantity sold go up from 200 to maybe 250 along the same prices. So here we will move to right. So here we have what? Shifts right, shifting to right, this to S2. Supply shifts right. That's it. Here's the idea. Okay? Tamam. What else?
Yeah.
I will give the chance for someone else. Someone else who can give us the fourth factor affect supply. Yeah, okay.
Tax or subsidies. When the tax is rising, the ability to produce that goes down, and the quantity supply goes down.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to the fourth factor affect supply, which is taxes or subsidies. Taxes or subsidies. Number 4. Taxes or subsidies. Taxes means ضرائب, and subsidies means أنا. Okay. Let's go to analyze taxes, the effect of taxes on what? Supply. So let's analyze the first part, or the first taxes. As the taxes increases, what will happen to the subsidies means مساعدات أو إعانات. Taxes ضرائب بالعكس يعني. As the taxes go up, what will happen to the profits? Exactly. So this leads to declining the profits. As the profits go down, the ability to produce go down, the willingness to produce go down, and supply goes down as well. That's it. So here we have the ability to produce go down, the willingness or the desire to produce go down. So supply goes down. Shifts left. So here we have a leftward shifting in supply curve. Okay? So if there is an increasing in the taxes, ceteris paribus, any increasing in taxes lead to what? Declining the profits, and the supply shifts left, or the supply curve shifts left. So here we have the original supply curve, S1, P1 prices, and the quantity supplied, supply will shift left. So here we have a leftward shifting and supply curve to S2. Okay? What about the subsidies? Sometimes the government provides subsidies for the farmers, for, sometimes for the producers.
Yeah.
So what will happen here? As the subsidies go up, exactly. Profits goes up here. The same. The opposite case here. Supply goes up and supply curve shifts right. So we will find that the supply curve shifts right. Okay? So here we have rightward shifting and supply curve to S3. That's it. All right? What else? What is the fifth factor affect supply? Yes. Okay, yes. Sellers' expectation about the future. In demand, we have an expectation about the future. The consumer's expectation about the future. Prices and income. For the producers, the same. He expects or she expects the future and the plan for the future. They plan for the future. So, the fifth factor affect supply is what? Expectation, or the seller's expectation about the future. The seller's expectation about the future. So, the fifth factor here, number 5. The seller's expectation, I will write. The seller's expectation about or for future. About future or for future. If خليني أعطي بس خليك later إن شاء الله next time. The producers sometimes, or a plan for the future. If they expect that the prices tomorrow will go up, شو بده يساوي؟ هذا البضاعة اللي عنده بخبيها، بقول له خليها لبكره. واحد ببيع فلاور، واحد ببيع شوجر، واحد ببيع مش عارف شو. عليه الشوال أو ببيعه in present here 50 shekels, and he expects that tomorrow the price will go up. At present here, today they will decline production or the selling products. مظبوط؟ طبعا aiming انه يكون في عندهم profit maximization بالfuture. صح؟ So if the seller expects that the prices, future prices, or the price will go up or increase tomorrow, next month, next week, depends on the type of industry. What will happen to the present? At present here.
The supply will go down.
Exactly. So this will, or the present or the current supply, the current production, the current selling will go down. So supply curve will shifts left. لأن هنا راح يكون في عندي leftward shifting. At present. تمام؟ مين مش فاهم؟ Let me assume that you sell something. What else? What is the proposed good that you tend to sell? أعطيني سلعة هيك يعني خلينا نقول بدك تبيعيها. ليش تتصرفي as a monopolist؟ خلينا نقول your father sells flour. بيع طحين. تمام؟ واليوم today the price per sack of flour is 35 shekels. تمام? And he expects that there will be an embargo, there will be a closure, a shutdown for the borders, and no products will enter to the market, and the price will go up. لو أحد بفكر بتفكير بالإيكونومست يعني as an economist rational decision شو بيساوي؟ بيقول لك أنا بدي أخلي المخزون اللي عندي بدي أخليه بديش أبيعه هالجيت طبعا خليه لبعد بكرة ولا لبكرة next week. تمام؟ هلا صارت هذا في السمنت عندنا في الفلسطيني الكلامي سمنت واحد عنده تجار السمنت كان عنده طن يكون ب 600 شيكل. تمام؟ توقع انه الاسبوع الجاي سكرت الدنيا والبرايس بير طن حيصير ب 1000 شيكل. شو بساوي؟ بقول لك خلي الكميه اللي عندها الجيت حتى لو كان عنده مصنع بخفف عرضه للسوق. مش هيك؟ ذاتس ات. هذا بحكي في البريزنت. تمام؟ ذاتس ات. فالسبلاي ناو سبلاي للماركت بقل. ذاتس ات. طيب what else? Yes. Exactly. The price of the prices of other related goods. In demand, we talk about the price of other related goods, like when we talk about the chicken and meat, fuel and cars. Here, the same idea, but the second side. Here, the second analysis or a different analysis. So, the sixth factor affect supply is prices of other related goods. Prices of other related goods. Here, I will assume that we are talking about an industry or a factory or a producer who has two production lines. مصنع في عندي خطين إنتاج. Cars and tractors. And this company or this factory produces 100 units of cars and 100 tractors a month. شهريا بينتجوا قديش؟ 100 من هذا و100 من هذا. The rational producer. And let us assume that the prices of the tractors go up. Prices of the tractors شو بيساوي؟ What about the production of cars? هلا الكارز بطل مربح كثير. مين أربح له صار؟ Tractors. So he will reduce his production of cars تمام؟ وبنتج بداله tractors. إذن I'm gonna analyze the cars market. بالcars market هنا شو راح يصير فيه؟ إذن supply for cars. Exactly. إذن تاني الإكزامبل. As the price of tractors go up. توقعنا أو بده هو البرايسز تبعت التراكتورز زادت. مين صار أربح له؟ هذا. صح؟ هذا gives them more profits. صح؟ So their production, the quantity produced of tractors go up, and the supply or the price, the quantity produced of cars or the production of cars go down. شو بصير هذا؟ هذا supply of cars go down. That's it. So supply curve of cars shifts left. إذن هنا هيك price of cars and the quantity supplied of cars. This is the original supply curve, this one. As the price of tractors, this is good X and this is good Y. As the price of Y goes up, the quantity produced or the supply of Y go down. Here we have a leftward shifting in supply curve to S2. Hey, what about the tractors market? The quantity supplied of the tractors. هلا هاي التراكتورز market. هاي البرايس of the tractors. P للتراكتورز. وهذا الكوانت supplied لمين؟ tractors. وهي الoriginal supply curve S1. Well, let us assume that at point A here, the price of the tractors حقه $20,000. الكوانتيتي sold بنبيع 50 تراكتورز. شوفوا الاسامبشن بيقول انه لو البرايس اوف التراكتورز زود البرايس اوف التراكتورز، خليه بدل ما هو 20,000 25,000. الكوانتيتي سبلايد اوف التراكتورز بزيد. انا بحكيش الطلب، انا بحكي كوانتيتي سبلايد. بس وين ضليت؟ على نفس الكيرف. هلا اثر البرايس نفسه. ده هنا هيك وداني على بوينت بي وعلى additional خلينا هذا 60 units of tractors. بس السبلاي للكارز كله ارتقى لانه سوق ثاني هذا. مش واضحه؟ مش واضحه. تمام. لانه هذا لو كنا عند برايس سعر السياره حقها 15,000 مع التغير في سعر التراكتورز ضلينا نفس ما ثبات سعر السيارات، الكوانتيتي نزلت وبالتالي انتقلنا على منحنى ثاني اقل. مش واضحه.
اعملها يا دكتور على سوق التراكتورز.
شوف عيدوا هذا. Another example. واحد عنده برويلر تشيكن فارم، الدجاج هذا الترباية مزارع. تمام؟ هاي تشيكن. السلعة بديلة له خلينا نقول التركي. حبش. عنده مزرعتين، هو بربي دجاج بربي حبش. تمام؟ الآن according to our assumption, or let us assume that the price of a chicken go up. سعر الدجاج طلع، مين أربح له صار؟ طبعا مع ثبات the prices of Turkey. هذا price of Turkey remains constant or fixed. مين صار أربح؟ شو يربي؟ بصير يربي دجاج. هيو سعره زاد، صار يعطيني بروفيتس أعلى، صح؟ راح يربي دجاج بدل التركي. المصاري العلف اللي جايبه والصوص والتشيكس هذا كله بصير يجيب بداله دجاج، بصير يجيب دجاج. مظبوط؟ صح؟ هلا هذا لو انا بدي احلل، اذا هذا الانكريزنج في البرايس اوف التشيكن تاثيره على التركي ماركت شو صار؟ supply of Turkey goes down، لانه المصاري اللي معاه هو limited، معاه مصاري محدوده limited، هذا ماني. فبدل ما يوزع مصاريه هيك بقول لك المصاري بدل ما احطهم هنا احط هذا. صح؟ مش هيك اللي بصير. هذا الريشنال ديسيجنز اللي بيشتغل فيه. بقول لك بدل ما انا احط فلوسي في شو اسمه بسحب جزء بودي على التشيكن. شو صار في السبلاي التركي؟ goes down. اذا هذا التركي ماركت price Turkey and the quantity supplied of Turkey S1 طبعا at the fixed prices of Turkey. and assumption انه the prices of Turkey remains constant. A per kilogram خلينا نقول 12 shekels 20 shekels and the quantity purchase 2000 units kilogram. At the fixed prices of Turkey, when the price of a chicken goes up, هذا بطل مربح، فصار يعرض أقل، صح؟ مع الفيكس برايسز هذا حيعطي كوانتيتي أقل ل 1400. يجينا على وين؟ سبلاي ثاني. هذا تركي ماركت. But what about the chicken's market? Fish shifts. هذا movement along the same supply curve. هلا هاي الدجاج هيك price of a chicken and the quantity supplied of a chicken. هاي supply curve S1. And let us assume that per kilogram of a chicken was 6 shekels or 7 shekels. واحنا بنبيع 1000 كيلوغرام. شوفوا ليش ما حطوش السعر ضمن محددات الطلب او محددات العرض؟ سعر السلعه the price of the product itself، سعر السلعه نفسها ليش ما حطوه؟ هو بأثر على الكوانتي ما بأثر على الديماند كله او السبلاي كله. هذا راح نشوفه كمان شوي. الان now as the price of a chicken goes up، هذا الاسامبشن، بدل ما هو 7 صرنا نبيع ب8. مين اللي goes up؟ مش السبلاي. From A to B along the same supply curve remains constant fixed. هذا no changes في supply curve. supply curve بضلوا زي ما هو، بس في عندنا a movement along the same supply curve.
Because it's original and it goes up. And the curve are
The quantity supplied goes up, not the supply as a whole or the supply curve. Has a movement along the same supply curve, not shifting. هذا راح نشوفه نعمل يعني the distinction between a change in supply كله and a change in the quantity supplied. We change in demand and a change in the quantity demanded. But Is it clear here? Or ambiguous?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go to ريحوا دقيقتين ثلاثة. ريحوا واحكوا على بعض واحكوا علي. خذوا لكم دقيقتين ثلاثة عشان شو اسمه هذا. ولا أنت سؤال تسألني فيه.
انا مش فاهمه.
طيب هل جيت حتوضح معك هل جيت؟
في الماركتينج.
نعم. باختصار أنت بتربي دجاج وبتربي حبش. هل جيت حتبين معي في الموضوع اللي بعده حيشرح يبين هذا. لو بسموه change in demand, change in quantity demanded, or change in supply, change. Okay. Let's go to study the difference between change in demand and the change in quantity demanded, a change in supply and the change in quantity supply. So, change in demand and change in a quantity demanded. Change in demand, as we mentioned before, the demand curve is a downward sloping price of a chicken and the quantity demanded of a chicken. This is the demand curve. It's a downward sloping D or D1. If the price per kilogram of chicken was 10 shekels, and let us assume that the quantity demanded or the quantity purchase of chicken was 20 kilogram a week per family at point A. A change in the quantity demanded is the decreasing in the quantity demanded when the price goes down, increases. اسمه هيك. هذا للمين للchicken. The change in the quantity demanded of a chicken is the decreasing in the quantity demanded of a chicken when the price of a chicken goes up, or اللي هو increasing in the quantity demanded of a chicken when the price goes down. I mean, for the product itself, here I'm talking about the product itself. And we will remain along the same demand curve. بمعنى هاي البرايس كان 10 البرايس طلع ل 15. The quantity demanded goes down to 12 maybe. So decreasing in prices leads to a decreasing in the quantity demanded, and we still move along the demand curve to point B. يعني يا بنروح هيك يا بنيجي هيك. طب جينا هون بي سي. هذا نتيجة انه البرايس goes down. The quantity demanded goes up. So هذا اسمه هيك change في ال quantity demanded نتيجة ايش؟ انه البرايس تبعها تغير. The price of the product itself changes or changed. تمام؟ So the change in the quantity demanded is a movement along the same demand curve from A to B, A to C, C to A, C to B, C to D, due to the change in the price of the product itself. مش full shifting في الديماند هذا right or left. هلا شو اللي بخلي الديماند كله moves to right or to left؟ هذا مش البرايس. Let's change في الانكم. Change في البرايس or price of other related goods. Number of consumers. صح؟ مظبوط؟ Number of consumers زاد. مع بقاء السعر ثابت هذا بنتكلم موف فول شيفتنج صح؟ اللي بيسموها الديماند ديترمينانتس. يعني اي تغيير في الديماند ديترمينانتس راح يودي لي الديماند كله رايت اور ليفت. بس موفمنت from A to B, B to C, C to B, this is a change in the quantity demanded, not a change in demand. صح؟ A change in demand means change in demand is what? The full shifting of هذا اسمه هيك full shifting of demand curve right or left, right or left due to بسبب مين؟ to a change of one of the demand determinants. Change in one or more of demand determinants. Like the consumer's income and the number of consumers, taste and preferences and so on. راح يجينا الديماند يجي هيك طبعا under the price or the fixed prices. The price remains constant مع ثبات السعر. إذا هنا under the assumption that the price of the product itself remains constant. صح؟ ده مش فاهمه؟ خط لا بنفهم ما حدش بيفهم وانا يعني لما انا اجي بدي اقرا من وراي ما بعرفش بس انا بحكي اكتبي هيو اقرا طيب هلا change in demand is the full shifting of demand curve. هيو يا اما بروح اليمين right to D2 or left to D3 due to where due to the change in one or more of demand determinants. يعني لو الانكم اتغير هذا راح يجيني يا هيك يا هيك. The price of other related goods صار فيها change اللي هو الاكسبكتيشن about the futures with taste and preferences والنمبر of consumers. اي واحد فيهم اتغير راح يودي لي هذا يا يمين يا شمال. One of the demand determinants اللي هي الانكم والنمبر of that طبعا under the assumption of the price of the product itself remains constant. تمام؟ The price of the income, number of consumers, taste and the preferences, the price of other related goods, expectation about the futures. يعطيكم العافية.